Let's hook up a search method to this application. Our search method for now will simply log to the console whatever text the user typed within the input field. Recall that input fields in React have an onChange function that allows us to grab the target value contents of its data. So we need to set up some state first, where the user can control their query to search. Let's define a constructor now for this class. Remember to pass a props argument. And then in the first line, you always want super props. Next up, let's declare the state object of this class. For now, we'll have one key, query, and this will be whatever the user types within the input field. Let's set it to an empty string for now. Great. Let's now change the value property of this input field to this.state.query. So right under the placeholder, the query is equal to this.state.query. Awesome. And now we can use that onChange function. Remember, we have to handle an event variable, and then we simply set the state of the query to the event.target value. Awesome. Now we need some way to test if this is actually working. For now, let's hook up a search method, and then in that search method, let's log the state. So let's console.log, and we'll say this.state, and this.state, so we know what it's actually referring to. Perfect. Finally, we'll need to add the call to the actual search method from the button click. So right here on the input group.addon, let's add an onClick feature within the tag. And we need to use an anonymous arrow function here, and we'll call this .search. And I accidentally deleted that add-on, so hopefully this should work. Let's inspect the element. And this, instead of saying query, should actually say value. And here we go. Let's search for an artist. Frank Sinatra, maybe. There we go. The query is Frank Sinatra. One final thing. In the last application, Countdown Champ had a challenge to add functionality by allowing the user to submit their request by pressing the Enter button. We can accomplish this feature by using the onKeyPress feature of the input field. Similarly to onChange, we need to handle the event variable. Here we need to check the event key property, so let's go ahead and console log that for now. So we'll say onKeyPress equals handling the event variable. Let's console.log that event.key for now, just to see what it looks like. As I save, as I'm in here, the event key is A, D, F, but when I press return or enter, the event.key is enter. So now we can simply call the search function if event.key ever equals enter. Let's add that logic now in a simple if statement. We need to wrap the whole thing in braces. We'll check if event.key is equal to enter, and if so, we'll call this.search. Let's search up Frank Sinatra, and as I press enter, there we go. We console.log the this.state, and I know search was called because that's the console log that we're using. Great. Now that we have a working search method, let's continue building Music Master.